Since the NFL season just came to an end, I thought there was no better time than to do my quarterback rankings for the 2025-2026 NFL season starting right now. The NFL season has come to an end for a majority of NFL fans. As you see by the hat, it's come to an end for me. So that's probably a good thing, knowing that the Dolphins are my favorite team. I get to keep my sanity for 8 months. But looking at the tiers here, we have pretty normal tiers except the... Sorry, buddy. We just got to start it off like that. Geno Smith, the worst quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion, right now. That was it hurt my eyes to watch any of the Raiders games. Starting off with the heater, man, Caleb Williams. And I think Caleb Williams has done enough to show that he's an A-tier quarterback. I mean, this dude just makes some of the most ridiculous throws you'll ever see. And him and the Bears are rolling right now into the playoffs. I'm really excited to see what Caleb Williams is going to do in the playoffs, because we might do a post-playoffs quarterback ranking, or maybe just a playoffs ranking. So if you guys are curious to see that, leave a like down below and comment. But I hope Caleb Williams rises up these ranks. Next, we got Justin Fields. We're just going to throw him right in the F tier, man. What a failed experiment by the Jets. They try to get him to kind of spark the new era and just crash and burn, man. Justin Fields is just terrible this year. Joe Flacco is just always so much fun to watch. I feel like this dude is never going to retire. He's just always going to come and play for these random teams and just have these crazy 400 yards, 4 touchdown games. But he's starting to regress a little bit. You can see that he's going through these weeks slower and slower. It's a little bit harder for him to get through these weeks. He is pushing 40. I think he might be 40, actually. Next, Kyler Murray. I'm going to slide him right above Joe Flacco. Kyler Murray still has some gas, but his contract and the feud he's kind of got with Arizona is just not looking too great, man. And overall, a couple years ago, you would have probably saw Kyler Murray up here, but now it's just hard to put him up there, especially with the injury history and the lack of really stellar performance in the past couple years. It's really been since D-Hop that he had his really good seasons. And another weird case is Jaden Daniels. I'm going to throw him at the top of B tier probably. And the reason you might be saying, why is Caleb Williams above Jaden Daniels? I just think Jaden Daniels had such a step back this year that it kind of made me reevaluate. And I think last year, if you would have asked, Jaden Daniels would have been up here and Caleb Williams would have probably been down here. But with this year, how it played out, I really think Caleb Williams has taken that step and Jaden Daniels kind of regressed. Do I think Jaden Daniels is going to continue to improve? Of course I do. I think Jaden Daniels will be right up top in the back of A tier by the time I make this video, maybe at the end of next year. Next, we got Aaron Rodgers. I think we got to throw him at right above Kyler Murray at the moment. Aaron Rodgers can still get it done, man. I mean, he's 40 years old, but the Steelers just made the playoffs on the back of Aaron Rodgers with no weapons. Obviously, their defense has a big part to do with that, but you can't. Aaron Rodgers is still slinging it, man. And I don't know if this is going to be his last NFL season, but at least he's got a little playoff push to try to make some noise. Bo Nix, this is a tough rate. I'm going to put him right behind Jaden Daniels right now. I feel like this is going to get very controversial later in the video, how I feel about Bo Nix. And Bo Nix is really good, right? But I don't think Bo Nix is the level of elevating that maybe some of the quarterbacks in the A tier or the top of B tier are. So I think he is going to fall a little bit deeper into B tier, but I'm open to debates in the comments with you guys. So next we got Patty Mahomes. I think Patty Mahomes slipped out of the A tier this year. There's been a couple years of downhill trends for Mahomes, and I still think he's a top 5 quarterback. He's going to end up as a top 5 quarterback. He's going to be the top of A tier. But I just think we got to acknowledge this stuff, and I would love more than anything to see Patrick Mahomes climb this mountain next year after his ACL recovery. But I just went through an ACL recovery. This is tough, man. ACLs are no joke, and this is going to be a lot for Patrick Mahomes to go through, and he's getting into his 30s now. I mean, he's not a young spring chicken anymore. But I still believe in Mahomes, and he's still a top 5 quarterback in my opinion. Actually, I guess we'll see. You never know what he ends up being, but right now I have him at the top of A tier. I guess I'll put him above Justin Fields. But, man, Tua, man. The good times faded away. A couple years ago, Tua was overhated. 2022 and 2023, he was definitely overhated. He had some really good performances and just some all-out really good quarterback play. Obviously, he did have Tyreek Hill, maybe the best player in the NFL at the time. Actually, he did get voted the best player in the NFL. But I still think Tua's regression is just unbelievable. 2024 and 2025 have just been downhill. it just really looks like he can't drive the ball anymore. He might be relegated to just a backup role, and I really don't see him suiting up for the Miami Dolphins in this next coming season or ever again. Justin Herbert, man, just A tier. I think right now he's a little bit better than Caleb Williams. I put him behind Mahomes still though, but Justin Herbert, man, what has he not shown you? He added an element to his game, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's leading the league in rushing yards. And you would just never seen that from Justin Herbert, but he's really leaning into his size, and he kind of has to scramble for his life with the Chargers offensive line. But overall, Herbert in the A tier, man. Chargers fans are up right now. Shout out my boy Bolt's Breakdown. Trevor Lawrence, speaking of fans that are up right now, T-Law, man. Welcome back. Back to his 2022 season form. Liam Cohen has got him heating up. I have him behind Caleb Williams, which also might be a little bit controversial, but I just see the talent. I think Caleb Williams can really elevate his team. Not to say Trevor Lawrence can't, but I think just a little bit of difference. I really love Caleb Williams' arm talent, but I think you could literally go either way, and I wouldn't hate. Like, I think people in the comments are probably going to say that Trevor Lawrence is better than Caleb Williams, and honestly, that's just my personal opinion. I'd rather have Caleb Williams than Trevor Lawrence, but to be honest, you could rank that either way. They're so close. Honestly, any of these three guys right here are really close to rank. Danny Dimes, man. He started out the season absolutely torching my Dolphins. If you guys were here in the beginning of my YouTube channel, he actually made me eat my words. I told everyone to bet everything against the Colts, and they just absolutely stomped us. But I think Daniel Jones is right at the bottom of B tier, right behind Bo Nix. And Daniel Jones, before his injury, was playing like, let's not be wrong, Daniel Jones was playing up here. But I think off the injury and just, you don't know what's going to happen to Daniel Jones next year. I would assume that Indianapolis has to give him some sort of contract, but who knows what they roll with going forward. I mean, Anthony Richardson's just, what happened to Anthony Richardson? Like, he's just sitting the bench. You got Daniel Jones. Now you got Riley Leonard playing a couple games. Riley Leonard looked pretty decent against the Texans, but Colts are just in such a bad place. Traded 2 first-round picks for Sauce. Just such an overpay for me, but I never even made a video about that. But now CJ Stroud. I'm pretty low on CJ Stroud, I feel like. I probably have him right in that Bo Nix category. Like, they can definitely elevate their teams. And the difference for me with Bo Nix and CJ Stroud kind of have this clutch factor. I really like both of their ability to close games in the fourth quarter. That's why they are in the B tier, when sometimes their play is honestly in the C tier. But I think CJ Stroud can really elevate his team in the playoffs, and he really doesn't have to do too much because this Texans defense is dominant. Lamar, man, this dude's in the S tier. Come on. S tier. First S tier quarterback. I don't care how hurt Lamar is or what they've shown this year. Lamar literally single-handedly turned the Ravens from a 2-6 team all the way back to a playoff where they missed on a kick. Not even anything to do with Lamar Jackson, because Lamar Jackson drove him down the field. And Lamar Jackson in the playoffs last year had a ball dropped, and Zay Flowers the year before fumbled. Like, these are not Lamar's fault. I don't really have the opinion that Lamar's a playoff choker, because he's not. He's honestly played to win every time, and I think Lamar is an S-tier quarterback. Whew, man. Drake May. This is going to get controversial for sure. He's not an S-tier quarterback. If I can get him up there, he's not an S-tier quarterback yet, in my opinion. I have him right above Herbert, though. I think these two guys are very similar in their games. Like, extremely similar, to the point where, honestly, if you switch the teams, I don't think there would be much different outcomes between the two. I think they're prototypically the same. But I just think, based on the year Drake May has had, I got to put him a little bit above Herbert. Might spark some debate in the comments. I don't know if I ranked him too low. Like, Drake May is a beast, but I have to see him prove it a little bit more. I know he's been dominating, but obviously they haven't played too many winning teams. But that whole thing is kind of weird, because when they played the Bucs were pretty much one of the best teams in the NFL. But when you look at the end of the season, they have a losing record. So I think it's really when you get them. Like, the Dolphins played the Colts at the beginning of the season. They were hot. They literally smacked us. But that's not the same Colts that the Texans played week 18. So keep that in mind with the strength of schedule stuff. I am going to keep him right here for now. Next, we got Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy. So I think Brock Purdy is actually at the end of A tier. And I know I'm going to get hate for putting him above Jaden Daniels, but I don't care, man. Brock Purdy just runs this engine of the 49ers offense so well. Actually, now that I'm saying it, I can't put him above Jaden Daniels, I don't think. I don't know. Brock Purdy's just so clutch. I don't think he's A tier. Maybe I was overshooting. Maybe I think this is the perfect spot for him. But Brock Purdy's clutch, man, along with everyone in this category, man, except maybe Danny Dimes, but everyone in this category is super clutch, and you can count on anything above B tier or above. You can count on these guys to win you games and take you deep in the playoffs with the right roster. I think the higher you get up the tier list, the less help these guys need to win. But next we got Sam Darnold, and I think he's going to fall right. Do I put him above CJ Stroud or behind CJ Stroud? Sam Darnold's been so good, and he's proved it on 2 different teams now. 14-win seasons and back. I think I got to put him above CJ Stroud. I love the way Sam Darnold's playing. He is prone to a lot of turnovers, but so is CJ Stroud. So I'm going to have him right above CJ Stroud, but perfect spot for him right next to Brock Purdy and in this Bo Nix range. Like, I think this is the absolute perfect spot. Like I just said, like, these B-tier guys, you can build around and win Super Bowls with these B-tier guys. Obviously, the more you go up these tiers, the less help you're going to need around them, right? Matt Stafford, let's throw him in S tier. Like, I don't even think this is going to be too high. I think people are going to actually agree with me on this one. But Matt Stafford has been playing at an MVP level for multiple seasons now. This dude has been absolutely on fire. Him and Sean McVay are just 2 peas in a pod. And I really think Matt Stafford is going to win the MVP this year, and he's going to take the Rams into the playoffs on a hot streak. I really love Matthew Stafford's play. And if you just watch this dude, some of his throws are absolutely ridiculous. Like arm angles, speed, power, just not even looking. This dude's throws is just one of a kind. And I'm glad we got to see Matt Stafford with Sean McVay. Joe Burrow, right above Matthew Stafford here. I know I was just glazing Matthew Stafford, but let me glaze Joey B for a second. Pause on that. But Joe Burrow is just so dominant. Like, there's few quarterbacks like him. I think him and Matthew Stafford probably are the only ones that just dissect the game on such a mental level. Like, Joe Burrow has just shown over the years he's such a dominant quarterback. And I honestly think I'm going to put him above Lamar. Lamar doesn't want to go down. But I think Joe Burrow is one of, if not the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I know there is one coming up that might be a little bit better. And now that I'm looking at this, I think I'm going to throw Patrick Mahomes in the S tier. I think I can't hate on greatness, man. I know I did a little hating on Patrick Mahomes, but I'm going to put him up in S tier. I just think that makes more sense. And next we got Jared Goff. He's at the bottom of, because Jared Goff's level of play is always on A tier. But I just think he fits so much better with this Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold crowd. Maybe he's above Jaden Daniels. I think I'm going to put him right below Jaden Daniels. I think that's a good spot. But Jared Goff consistently keeps his quarterback play at a top 10 level. I think this season the Lions did take a step back, but Jared Goff didn't. He was dealing all season, and I think he is perfect in this group of Jared Goff, Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold. I think those are all very similar quarterbacks that can win you a ton of games, and Jared Goff has proven that. Now, Jordan Love, I'm lower on than most people. I think I'm going to put him right above CJ Stroud. I don't know if I'm hating CJ Stroud too much, but I don't really see that much pure talent in CJ Stroud. He's definitely shown the abilities to win games, but I haven't seen him take over games. There's been a couple, don't get me wrong. That's why he's in the B tier, not the C tier. But same thing with Jordan Love, man. I just feel like he doesn't take over the games all the time like one of these A tier quarterbacks do. But he's consistently led the Packers to playoffs year after year. And 9, man. Like, dude, JJ McCarthy, man. Like, dude, the memes, every time someone loses, it's just 9. Like, I mean, he's got to be better than Tua, right? I mean, I think I got to put him in D tier, actually. He did show a little bit of flash, but, man, Vikings are going to have some big questions in this coming off season with what are they going to do with JJ McCarthy and what are they going to do with that starting quarterback job? And next, Bryce Young, division winner with a losing record. I think he's right behind Aaron Rodgers in the C tier. Just a good enough quarterback to be good enough. Like, they're going to get bounced first round of the playoffs. I hope this ages poorly because I do love the Panthers. But next we got one of the GOATs, man. I mean, I think Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion. I mean, this dude just is a dominant rusher. I mean, just scoring a ton of rushing touchdowns. He's dominant through the air, and he just has that it factor, man. I really think the Bills are a sneaky player in this postseason to really go really deep and maybe go to their Super Bowl, their first Super Bowl with Josh Allen. If you notice, 3 out of these 5 guys aren't in the playoffs, and the only one that's in the playoffs is Matt Stafford on the other side of the pond, right? a lot of these guys, actually all of these guys are in the playoffs, but the S tier guys, man, there's a difference between an A tier and an S tier. You just can't describe it. That's why I had to throw Patrick Mahomes back in that S tier. He just has that magic. And I hope next season, like some of these guys start moving up to S tier because they've shown that they're really good. I just need them to see that step in the playoffs. All these guys that proved it in the playoffs. Next, we got Michael Penix. I think I got to put him above 9. Actually, I think I got to slide him up to C tier maybe. I'm not really big on Michael Penix either. He's old. He's got a ton of injuries. I just think the Falcons whiffed on this pick, to be honest with you. I think they could have got someone way more impactful and just rolled with Kirk Cousins. I know Kirk Cousins hasn't been the best quarterback ever, but I really think they could have got maybe a defensive edge in that draft and not having to give away their first round pick this year. But Cam Ward, man, I think he's going right in C tier. I think he's right behind Kyler Murray right now. Actually, let's throw him above Kyler Murray. I love Cam Ward's play. It's just you never see too much of him because he's just on the Titans, man. The Titans have such a bad rap, and they're just like a dumpster fire organization ever since Mike Vrabel left. But I really hope Cam Ward continues to rise up these ranks because he has some extreme talent. Baker, man. This one's so tough. Based on this season, I think I got to lower Baker, and I think I got to put him below Bo Nix. Last season, if you were to ask me, man, I was high on Baker. I'm putting him probably right here. But this season, he had so many opportunities to win some of these games, and he just didn't. This is a different Baker Mayfield. I don't know if they need a shake up at offensive coordinator. I know they've had different offensive coordinators the last couple years. But when I mean offensive coordinator, I mean more like an offensive head coach, like get rid of Todd Bowles, maybe spark him up. But next we got Jalen Hurts, and I'm going to put him at the top of B tier. Jalen Hurts is definitely someone you can actually, I think I got to put Jalen Hurts in A tier. I just think, based on play, I don't think Jalen Hurts is an A tier. I will say that. But there's something about Jalen Hurts in the playoffs that just makes him an A tier quarterback. Like, you can never count him out in the playoffs. And he's just always proven to dominate in the playoffs. Even the Super Bowl they lost a couple years ago, he was extremely dominant. And he just has that it factor and that clutch factor that makes me put him above guys like Jaden Daniels, Jared Goff, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's pretty clutch too. I don't want to get it wrong, but just another level with Jalen Hurts. And now Dak, man. Dak's had such a good season. He's so underrated. I think I got to put him right above Jalen Hurts. I think that bounces Jalen Hurts right out of the top 10 quarterbacks, which would be great. I don't think Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback, but number 11 sounds about right for him. I almost want to put Dak up here over Trevor Lawrence, but yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put Dak above Trevor Lawrence. I love Dak's game, man. I would put Trevor Lawrence as the 10th quarterback. I don't see there's anyone down here that's really going to top him. I think I got 2 Joe Burrows on here for some reason. But Spencer Rattler, man, D tier. Yeah, Spencer Rattler's not that good. That's why he got replaced. Obviously, he did show some signs, but he's pretty much going to be a backup quarterback in the league for the next coming years. Russell Wilson, man. What did he used to say in Denver? Let him cook or whatever. What did he say, man? I can't think of it, but I'm going to put the meme on the screen maybe if I can find it. But F tier, man. Absolutely terrible play. He had that one good game against the Cowboys, but bench for our next guy, and I really like Jackson Dart. I'm going to put him at the top of C tier right now, and I really think he has the potential. Without all the injuries, he might have even been in B tier by the end of the season, but Jackson Dart looks really good, and I really liked him coming out of the draft. He's so mobile. I just think he's got to be careful. Like, this dude, him and Cam Scatterbo just have no regard for human life, including their own, and they're going to get hurt, man, and they've shown it plenty of times this year. Dylan Gabriel, yeah, he wasn't better than Tua. Even though he beat Tua, like, Dylan Gabriel's pretty trash. I almost want to put him below Justin Fields. Like, Dylan Gabriel's just not that good. No, don't draft a Hawaiian quarterback. They suck. Just to let you guys know. Talking from experience. Browning, I think. Jake Browning, absolutely awful. We don't need to see him anymore. They always show his girl when he's on the screen. That should show you how bad you are when they just show your girl rather than showing you play. Shador Sanders, I'm going to actually put above 9. I think he hasn't had the best of seasons, don't get me wrong, but he's won some games. He won, I think he was 2-3 or 3-4, maybe something like that. 2 or 3 games he won, but the Browns only have 3 or 4 wins. So I really like the way Shador Sanders won these games, and not to say he won because he didn't, but there's a difference between winners and losers. And I think Shedeur Sanders is a winner. And last here, we got Tyler Shuck. So Tyler Shuck has had an awesome rookie season that's no one's talked about. I think he's had a better season than Cam Ward. And I'm ready to put him right above Cam Ward in this rank. And I think that's going to be very controversial. But overall, this is my list. Let me know what you guys agree on. Let me know what you guys disagree on. I know there's going to be a lot of turmoil in the comments down below. But overall, that's my quarterback ranking list for 2025, 2026. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope you guys please consider subscribing. And with that being said, fins up. Peace.